storms moving through Tulsa and going to have some very strong winds. There could be some power outages. Don't forget that we are streaming now on our YouTube channel. That's something that I really haven't talked a whole lot about, so we'll be on YouTube channel streaming as well. So if we go off the air here on channel 6 for a while and go back to our programming, you'll be able to just continue to stay with us as well. Let's take a look at what's going on at this time. Tornado warning now has been issued, and this is going to be coming in on Skyatuk as we speak. So this is the latest of what's happening. So this is a new tornado warning. This is associated with the storm that's right in that area. Brandon is literally watching what's going on. Brandon, what do you have for us? What do you see?
Yeah, Travis, so right now we're going to be in Skyatuk. We're right near the Osage Casino and Hotel, and we're looking off to our southwest. They just issued a tornado warning for this storm that we're on. We're pointing southwest there in the shot, and you can kind of see, it's hard to see through the rain, but there's a lowered bowl feature there,
yep,
a little lowering right there above the tree line that we're watching very closely. Right now, nothing imminent, but we're definitely got eyes on it. Back to you.
All right. Hey, what are you getting for winds, and what's going on with that right now?
Yeah, so dead calm. There's no winds flowing into this storm as of right now.
Interesting. Okay, well, that's kind of a good sign, so hopefully that'll continue to be the case. All right, so again, a tornado warning has been issued from the National Weather Service, and so that will continue for southeastern Osage, southern Washington, northeastern Tulsa County till 7:30 tonight. And so we do have that risk of a possible tornado. You see Brandon, he's got it right there in your eyesight as far as what's going on with it, and you see the circulation feature. We'll be talking to Stacia here in just a minute about the storm track, so you have a good idea of where it's headed, but we do know if you're near Skyatuk, we do want you to take cover now to be on the safe side, because that's a lowered area right in here that he was just talking about. So that's just on the south end of the lake, Skyatuk Lake, and that is moving to the northeast, coming into Skyatuk. It's moving pretty fast as well. So what we want you to do is to be aware of what's happening. Stacia, you want to give us a quick update?
I can. So this track is about 40 miles per hour, Trav. This is moving up to Skyatuk by 7:19, Collinsville by 7:31, Vera by 7:32, Ramona about 7:35, right on top of Tall Chief Cove now, and again coming up to Skyatuk here in the next about 10 minutes. The speed on it is 40, maybe pushing a little faster than that up to the northeast. So that will again include the Skyatuk area, potentially up to Vera, passing on the west, potentially north sides of Collinsville, and then eventually up towards Ramona as well. Trav.
All right. Hey, thanks. So what we're seeing right now is pretty much what is going on. So literally near Tall Chief Cove, and that's what's seeing behind me right now. So that's Brandon's shot. And so he's going to have that shot for us as long as he doesn't get covered in rain. And so that's what we have at this point with this particular tornado warning. This is on the north side of town. Skyatuk's on the north side. The south side has a severe thunderstorm warning. But what we see at this particular moment, so anywhere from the Tall Chief Cove and then extending back into Skyatuk, is where the center of the circulation is right in this area. So what we want you to do is just to be careful. We don't anticipate it to be a monster problem, but it is, if you're underneath it, it is a bit of a big problem. So we want you to be safe. So get away from the outside windows and walls, like we always say, and then we want you to be as well, get to a reinforced area in the center part of your home, just to be on the safe side. So right, Brandon doesn't see it on the ground, but that doesn't mean it couldn't be, because this gets rain wrapped in these situations. You can see a vivid amount of lightning displays going on with that. And right in here as well, let's go back to some shear and some wind velocity data if we could. Storm relative and what's happening with this. So this is what's creating the circulation feature right in here. So as we're looking for the pretty much anywhere from Tall Chief Cove area. So if you're in an area just to the south and west of Skyatuk at this particular moment, so we're talking 133rd Street North, 116th Street West and North, and then also 103rd Street North. You're literally right in the advancing area of this. So you see what's going on right now. So that's continuing to track to the northeast. Brandon, want to get another update from you real quick. What do you see on this? Anything else you can add?
No, not right now, Travis. It looks like that area that we were watching has now gotten wrapped up in the rain, so you're not going to be able to see this coming as the scenario with these type of events. But we're going to be right here, and we're going to let it get close to us so we can try to confirm whether there's anything in there or not. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it very much, Brandon. And so, again, it has a signature that is enough to make us be concerned. It doesn't look terrible, but it's not a good situation. You have to be on the side of caution and safety in this situation. So again, circulation feature very close to where Brandon is, just to the south and southwest now of Skyatuk, about 1.5 miles to 2 miles. So you take it from 103rd and then back on to the northeast. I want to point out down to the south as well. We have the severe thunderstorm to the north. We have this tornado warning as well, but there are additional rain areas that are showing up, and then the heavy thunderstorm with severe potential and strong winds right now, also going from near Sapulpa, curving out to Preston to near and west of Okmulgee. And so there is a hail core, it looks like, in this at this particular moment. Strong winds are coming in from out of the west and southwest, so a little bit of hail right in here. So it'd be pea-size hail, nickel-size hail maybe at largest. Strongest winds. Go to Kevin. Okay. Is he right in there? Okay. Kevin, if you're there, I don't have you on GPS right now. Quick update from you. Where are you?
Yeah, Travis. So I'm sitting at Highway 75 and Highway 16 intersection here around Beggs. Watching the front of this cell come in. Winds are still pretty light right now, running about 10 miles an hour. Lightning starting to pick up, but we're going to keep an eye on it as it moves through and see what it does, Travis.
All right. Hey, thanks. Let's go back on up to Skyatuk real quick for the folks up there, just to make sure that you're getting what you need, information. So again, from Skyatuk, we're just to the south and to the west. We'll get on to Brandon one more time. Brandon, another update from you. What do you have for us?
Yeah, Travis, right now, still status quo. What's very strange about this is we don't have any inflow into this. You can see none of the grass is moving. This is going to be buried in the rain. It looks like the rotation may have broadened out a little bit, but we're still under a tornado warning, so exercise your tornado warning precautions.
All right. Hey, thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it. Let's go back to radar, and we'll go to Stacia. They get us a storm track again. So this is a push of wind that's coming on through. As Brandon said, he has hardly any wind here. A lot of times what we need is stronger inflow winds that come into this to make tornadoes. So that's a good thing. We don't have that. And so we have the stronger winds to the south side of this. So it's just enough that we have to be aware. So anywhere from Skyatuk back to the south and west now. So that's already past Lake Road and now around 113th Street north. So that's coming in on 133rd Street north. And so you guys on the south side of Skyatuk to the south. We want you to be safe. So make sure that you're taking your precautions. Stacia, what do you have for a storm track?
All right, Trav, so coming into Skyatuk here in the next 5 minutes. Again, first up is going to be that south side of town where Trav mentioned, 133rd Street North, Lumbar, back to the west from there. Once you're in that safe spot, it's the centermost part of your home on the lowest level, away from windows and doors. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside as possible. But you want to take those precautions now in Skyatuk, as this is coming up here in town by 7:19. So that's about 4 more minutes from now. Collinsville by 7:31. We're also talking about Vera and Ramona. Vera would be by 7:31 in southern Washington County, and Ramona, if this turns more northeast, that could come into town by about 7:35. So again, in Skyatuk, want you in those tornado precautions, want you paying attention, getting ready to go if you live around the Vera area, and up towards Ramona, potentially even Collinsville. Be paying close attention to this. Trav?
All right, thanks. And yes, fortunately, it's weak enough that that's going to help us out. Hopefully it stays that way, because it's embedded in a lot of rain, thunder, lightning, a little bit of hail, and then the gustier winds again. Strongest winds are going to be from Skyatuk back to the south a little bit. And so that's the storm track taking it across there. So just be careful for a little bit longer, and then hopefully this weakens a tad bit. This is kind of evolving a tad bit on what's happening here. Back to the south for 1 minute on the south side storm. So this is coming in now from Sapulpa, and then it curves back through the Beggs area. Kevin is right on it again. Kevin, want to get another quick update from you on this. What are you seeing now? Kevin, you there? Give me an update. Kevin there, Aaron? He should be. Don't know what. Maybe he's got a mute on. We'll do a little analysis ourselves. We do see that see the base of it right in here. There is a little bit of a lowering there. This isn't as big a circulation feature as what I'd say is some gusty winds of 40 to 50 miles an hour. So we will have to watch out for that. All right, let's go back on to radar. Again, so what you're seeing is the strongest wind. So Kevin is on 75 right now on Highway 16, literally right by Preston. So these are some strong winds that are coming up across the areas, moving into southern Tulsa County before too long. Quite a bit of lightning as that moves on in, but that's about it. Let's go back on up to Skyatuk. And and get another quick update on what's happening up here. So here's the latest. Brandon's literally right in it. Is Brandon moving east through Skyatuk right now? Because that's circulation features now up to moving to the northeast. So as we're looking with this, so the heaviest of the rains moved into Skyatuk at this particular moment. So that circulation feature now pulling up across Skyatuk and to the north, and now getting onto the Washington County line. You see some stronger winds south. Also note the stronger winds that are up to the north. This is with that north storm. It's not under a warning, but this is part of some outflow. Alan's been in Nowata with this cell as it's been moving to the east. So that has a line of strong winds that extend now from around Nowata and Highway 69 back on down to just around the Okmulgee area. And let's take a look at shear if we could on there and show you what's going on right along this leading edge. So there's some strong winds if you're around the lake right now, Okmulgee Lake this time. We want you to be aware you could get some 50 or 60 mile an hour winds. That's indicative of that. So if you're right on the lake, it's hitting you pretty much in the next few minutes. So make sure you're prepared or got things tied down a little bit, because that's going to blast in there with some winds of over 40 miles an hour. It's officially not a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's close enough that you could probably get some branches falling, or you could lose some power, or if you're camping, could be rocking around that camper a little bit too much, and that would not be good. So be careful with what's going on right across areas. Already through Talala, coming across the lake at this moment. All right, back down, Skyatuk still with the tornado warning. We'll take a look again closer in on the circulation pattern and talk to Stacia. So that's broadened out quite a bit as that's moved to the north and to the east. Stacia, now that storm has gone through Skyatuk very quickly, what speeds do we have on that?
We're still looking at about 40, maybe approaching 40, about 45 on the top end. The sirens are sounding in Skyatuk. So what's happening now is that circulation has broadened out. It's now moving east of town, but we still want you to take your precautions, especially if you live around Vera, just because there's still some strong wind that could come through, and that of course can do damage. We want you in the centermost part of your home on the lowest level, and put as many walls between yourself and the outside as possible. Even if there's not a tornado on the ground, it can still do some damage. So what should be safe? Here's the timeline for Vera. That's coming up at 7:30. Ramona would be by 7:28. So again, it's now east of Skyatuk, moving over towards Highway 75, and that will track into southern Washington County and northern Tulsa County. And the speed is about 40 to 45. Don't try to look at it. Don't try to get outside to see a tornado because it's wrapped in rain. And so it's a bad idea. You're not going to see it. You're going to get blasted with some wind as it does come through. So again, we're tracking our tornado warning for now southern Washington County, northern Tulsa County, Collinsville up to Ramona, and that will go until 7:30. So there's about 11 more minutes with our tornado warning, and the area we're most concerned about now is going to be east of Avant, east of Skyatuk, pushing over to Ramona and Vera. A broad picture here, we do have heavy rain on the north side of the Tulsa Metro, and then to the south we're tracking some strong winds that's coming through the Mounds area, bulging out east of Beggs to Preston. So for Hectorville to Bald Hill, you guys are in line for some very strong winds that could also knock your power out. Trees have really taken a beating this spring, so we're going to see potentially more tree limbs down as the strong winds come through. Those strong winds will eventually get over towards Bixby and Leonard and Stone Bluff. You may get 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, Trav, with this Boeing segment that's going to come through southern Tulsa County and eventually into western Wagner County. But then, of course, the tornado warning north of Tulsa, Collinsville, back up to Vera, still under it until about 7:30.
All right. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. And yes, just looking at analyzing some more data, and this continues to weaken. So that's really, really good news. So again, through Skyatuk at this point, or in and around Skyatuk, but it's moved to the east of Skyatuk. Brandon's with this right now. Hey, Aaron, is Brandon available to talk to for a minute? Hey, Brandon, if you're there, can you give me an update as you're going through Skyatuk, what you have right now?
Yeah, Travis. Well, going through Skyatuk proper, we've got some minor street flooding going on here in Skyatuk. It looks like that circulation's just to our north and east now. We're going to try. It looks like it might also be broadening out, so that's a good sign. Back to you. Yeah,
it is. You getting any street flooding yet, or did you get any winds at all? It looks like you got a little bit of wind, but not a ton. What do you got going on there?
Yeah, nothing severe. I'd say 25 to 30 mile an hour, and just the main concern is a lot of street flooding here in Skyatuk.
All right. That also, by the way, we're going to take a look at how much rain has been falling. And we do have aerial flood advisories in effect for some areas to the north. So we are talking about conditions that are favorable for a lot of flooding. And we're seeing that in several locations of Osage County. Right now, we've seen a lot of water, and then that extends back on up to the north and to the east into Washington County. So if you are in those areas, please be advised for what's happening with that. And then also into Nowata County, as far as from Nowata, Washington counties, and Craig County. And so that is going to be a lot of water that has fallen. So secondary roads, you might have some water washing over some of those roadways. As we say, turn around, don't drown. Conditions are favorable for some additional rain and thunderstorm activity that is going to be pretty amazing in some of these areas. So we're going to see some of these numbers going up. We've already had way too much rain, and there's going to be some places that don't pick up very much rain at all. Once again, the tornado warning showing up across areas around Skyatuk, still hanging out there. Don't feel quite as that this is as big of a threat. It really hasn't been a big threat since it was issued, but it was strong enough. And under these circumstances, we have no choice but to have the National Weather Service issue tornado warnings with that. So this is the latest. The winds now are the strongest to the east, moving up on Highway 75. And so with that, there's probably, as Brandon was mentioning, he's right behind it. He was in it when it was coming through. So if you're in Skyatuk, you're clear, basically. Still getting rain and thunder and lightning, but you're clear of any threat. And so this is now more off to the east, and there's no tight couplets along here. There's just gusty winds right in this location. Back into southern Tulsa County, too, I just want to point out that this line is just coming on through the Sapulpa area and now through Mounds and extends down to where Kevin is located near Preston. And John Durkee is probably, I don't even see John right now. Where's Kevin's on that line? Kevin, is he available now? Is he back? Okay. Hey, Kevin, missed you last time. Quick update from you. What's going on with that cell or that line?
Yeah, Travis, so I'm following that east on Highway 16 right now. As that leading edge came through, the winds were only 15 to 20 miles an hour embedded in it as well. Lightning has pretty much died out at this point, but I'm going to get back ahead of it and watch it come through again, Travis.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it. Sirens are going off in Collinsville, stations reporting. So again, that's part of that tornado warning to the north. Do not worry too much, though, about that at this second. We are watching like around Kellyville, back into Sapulpa area. So there is a little bit of a rotating area right in here. I can see what's going on here. And so you see this happening right here. So this is going to come up and go right on up into through Sapulpa, Glenpool, Jinx area. Our Jinx cam, we can look at that too in just a second. Where's John? I lost a John Durkee. Is he, where's he at?
He should be on the southwest side of the metro.
Yeah, he's on I-44.
Oh, there he is. He's a good spot. Hey, John, while we're getting ready to get a camera, give us an idea of what you're seeing as that's moving in from the southwest side.
So just out of my camera view, I can see the very dark clouds. There is a little bit of a lowering with it, Travis. But I can't make out any rotation. It's getting a little dark, and I can't make out if it's rotating. But there is definitely a lowering with this as it's coming in between pretty much Tulsa, Sapulpa, and Jinx right now. Back to you.
All right. Hey, thanks, John. Well, you're getting in position there as well. Look at that a little bit more. Here's our Jinx cam from our First Oklahoma Bank building. So you do see that lowered area right in here as it's coming across. So that's what we're going to keep track of. This. We call it kind of the bookend of it, and so this is a circulation feature right over there. And to the left, you can just see that whole line as it's just kind of moving and coming on into Tulsa. So that'll be Sapulpa, and then also extending back to back from Sapulpa and Jinx area. And so that's going to be a bit of the problem. That red light there is part of the tower, by the way, just to let you know in case you're wondering, what is that bright light on the left side? That is literally just part of the tower on top of the building. Let's go back to the right. Can we go back a little bit further to the right on that? And want to look at this one more time. And we'll have Stacia do a storm track over Tulsa too. Tornado warning continues to the north and east of Skyatuk. And what do you got, Aaron?
I was just saying they expired the tornado warning. At 7, it says it will expire at 7:30.
Okay, because that, it just doesn't, it doesn't look too bad. So that's good news. So we're looking again across from Jinx. That's pretty much looking due west right there, and you see what's happening out to the west there. All right, and so, okay, Yeah, that looks good. Okay, let's go back to radar for a minute, and then we'll talk to Stacia about storm track on this cell. And so here's what we're looking at coming in. So this is that area right in here. So that has that little bit of that lowered area that we're looking at from the Jinx cam. So this is on the south side of Sapulpa right now. Hey, John, one more update, and then Stacia's going to give us storm track. John, what do you have for us?
Well, Travis, right now I am just out of the view of it, but it's just off to my right. I'm coming into I-44, coming into Tulsa, going to take Highway 75 and head back south. Getting moderate rain. There is quite a bit of lightning off to the south with this right now as well. Maybe extending even a little further south down toward Glenpool and the Mounds area with quite a bit of lightning. So,
okay.
Back to you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Stacia, what do you have for storm track on this particular cell?
So we're going to track that comma head feature that you were pointing out, Trav. So this will take it up towards Tulsa Hills by 7:33, by Jinx also around that time. So we're looking at about 5 more minutes from now. ORU would be 7:35. The Brookside area about 7:38, closer to 7:40, along with Woodland Hills Mall and TU. Leisure Park, Broken Arrow by 7:45, along with Tulsa International. NSU BA by 7:47, and Catoosa Trav by 7:52. So that will take it right across the city. Moving pretty fast at about 45, maybe a little faster than that, but that'll go right across the city with potentially a little lowering that might worry some folks, especially as it does come across. And again, up to Owasso potentially in the next 30 minutes, along with Catoosa, and we'll extend that into northern parts of Wagner County, southern Rogers County in the next half hour.
All right. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. So it's that swirl that we see right at this time. So that's from a Kiefer, Kellyville area, just over Sapulpa, southwest of Sapulpa. And so that's what's coming up. Let's go back to Jinx Cam for just a second if we could, because that had a pretty good location on it. It's basically between Sapulpa and Kiefer right now. And so that's just a lowered cloud base on this part, but we don't have a whole lot else going on with it other than the fact there should be some gusty winds. So far, what was expected to be a fairly windy thunderstorm complex in terms of severe storms, haven't seen that yet. Knock on wood, because that is subject to change, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in Tulsa. Tornado warning is canceled for the Tulsa area, so that is out of the picture at this particular time, and so we don't have to worry about that to the north. We will go back up to the north and look at that, but again, this is what's coming in on Tulsa's south and west sides, so there's no real lowered cloud base, just ragtag, as Stacia was mentioning just a little bit ago with this. And so when that's coming in, we are going to be watching, and she's got an eyeball on it as well, and we're continuing to watch that part. To radar for a moment, and so this is it right in here between Glenpool and Sapulpa. And this is the, you can kind of just make out the circulation feature here. Just look what it's doing, and we'll loop that again. And you can just kind of see that wrapping up right in here. So if there is something going on, and if this was a little bit different environment, this would be most likely a tornado. So we're very fortunate it isn't at this moment. But it is a circulation feature. And so in these types of situations, we've just been added a new severe thunderstorm warning now. So that's going to take it from Sapulpa, Glenpool, across all of southern and southeastern Tulsa County, inclusive of Jinx, Broken Arrow, and the southeast sides of Tulsa. And that just clips Tulsa Hills, because what we're seeing right now is literally what's just coming right up across the areas. And so that's why we're going to keep an eye on what's happening there. John is on the north side. We have, let's go back to our Jinx Cam if we could for a minute, and then I'll have you do a storm track again. And so here it is. So we're still looking at what's happening. So it doesn't look all that bad, but it is rotating. It is going in a circle. And so that's the general way to just describe it. But Stacia, what do you have for a storm track for us?
All right, Trav, so it's moving northeast, again, 45 to 50, and it's going to take it right up through central parts of the city, from Jinx up to Brookside, continuing up towards Tulsa International, Owasso in the track, Catoosa in the track as well. It hasn't really changed much. We're still watching that leading edge get up towards Tulsa Hills by 7:33, and I'm going to turn it over to our live radar. So there's going to be some heavy rain with it, and then you'll notice that it looks kind of ominous, and it's kind of a little scary looking as it does come across. So it's right on top of Sapulpa now, coming up into Jinx here in the next few minutes, along with Tulsa Hills. You're already getting some light rain around Jinx, and 71st up by 75, extending across the city to 169 in the BA. But the heavy rains are now in Sapulpa down to Glenpool, and then behind that, is where that swirl is going to be. So that's from Sapulpa down to Mounds, on top of Kiefer, and just west of Glenpool. That'll come up to ORU by 7:35, by Brookside by 7:38, Woodland Hills Mall, TU, and that's all about 7:40, and then continuing on to Broken Arrow. And Leisure Park is on the southern edge of this, in southern BA, down by the Warren Theater. That's going to be about 7:45. NSU BA would be 7:47. Tulsa International also right around that time with 7:45, and Catoosa, along with the Wasso Trav, would be closer to about 7:50.
All right. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. We've got flood advisories now inclusive of Tulsa. So that's also been including just because a ton of water coming back into Tulsa. And that's just what we're dealing with. You can see Bob's on the east side of town right now, positioning himself. So that's a look at the storm track for the one that's in Tulsa. And also, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings extending all the way through Okmulgee, now into northern Muskogee County, western Wagner County. We have the severe thunderstorm that Brandon's into, Allen's into some extremely heavy rainfall. So all of this is flood advisory criteria and has been issued. So we just have to deal with what we have. Brandon, I want to get an update from you in Collinsville. We earlier had sirens going off in Collinsville. What's going on in Collinsville now?
Yeah, Travis, well, the sirens have now lettened up here at our location. We haven't heard any of the tornado sirens, but we're still watching the leading edge of this very closely, just in case it happens to get into another environment where something squirrely can happen. We've seen a couple ragtag, scary-looking clouds along the leading edge, but nothing intimate of a tornado in progress or not even any type of anything like that. So we're going to keep an eye on it just in case. Right now, our winds are just gusty, about 30 to roughly 35. Back to you.
All right, and inflow winds are pretty weak, or you can't even tell?
Yeah, that would be the
inflow.
sir. That would be the inflow winds, 30, 35.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Appreciate it. So once again, that line of thunderstorms continues to track off to the north and to the east. And Stacia has a new storm track on what's going on here, as a lot of this is continuing to track to the north.
It is, Trav, and it's still moving at about 40 by Collinsville to Vera. So what we're going to do is track kind of the leading edge of those winds. And so the winds now on the east side of Ramona, east of Vera, we're talking southern Washington County down to Collinsville. Those will move up at about 40, and it's a severe thunderstorm warning now. It's kind of on the eastern edge of that polygon, and that'll take it up towards Talala, to Watova, to Jamestown, to Oologah Lake, which already have had some strong winds come through the Oologah Lake area, extending up Highway 28. So we're back to dealing with more strong wind in Oologah by 7:45, Talala by 7:47, Watova by 7:54, Nowata closer to 8 o'clock, along with Winganon. Trav.
All right, let's come back down into Tulsa. John Durkee, I see he's got a good shot of what's going on right now with that area. He is literally coming in on him at this moment. He's at Tulsa Hills. John, give us an idea of your location and what you're seeing right now, if you would.
Well, the very heavy rain is moving into the area. The winds have just picked up. You can see the trees kind of right in front of me here, just kind of starting to tip over just a little bit. There's a lowering of the clouds right in front of us there, and it is moving at a pretty good clip. Stacia's right, about maybe 40 to 45 miles an hour into the city of Tulsa and off towards Bixby and Broken Arrow as well. Back to you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, great shot of what's coming in on Tulsa right now. And I do see the Old Glory there whipping down here in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. So, John, what are you estimating winds at? Are they picking up, or what are the wind speeds right now?
I'd say about 35, maybe occasionally gusting to 40, but they are picking up in the last few minutes. So they're getting stronger.
All right. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it very much. So again, coming across the Tulsa area with a severe thunderstorm warning in Tulsa. Main line now extending from Tulsa Hills, then through Jinx, and then that goes down into Bixby. Some strong winds expected around Bixby. Notice how solid of a line that is in Bixby. So we do expect some strong winds here on the south side. They're getting pushed into this region. So that's what we're going to keep an eye on right in here. Should be some 30, 40 mile an hour winds associated with that. Doesn't look that great, but it's there. And then also back into let's go north for one more second here. Just wanted to point out from Jinx, and Jinx camera probably getting nailed, should be getting some pretty strong winds right now. on that coming in on the city. So we're looking due west. This is Main Street right here, so that's west going that direction. So that's coming in across the area right as we speak. So we're going to get some heavy rain, some gusty winds with it, but so far not looking too awful bad there. All right, back to radar if we could, please. And then we're looking at further to the south along that arcing area. So this is the circulation whole area that's circulating. And then this area is now pushing across southern portions of Tulsa and into Broken Arrow and Bixby areas, obviously. And then Leonard starting to come up. So it's near Leonard Mountain right now. And that's cutting across. So you get some brief heavy rainfall, maybe some pea-sized hail associated with that. So that is a possibility. And then that is now starting to move into southwestern portions of Wagner County, just west of Stone Bluff. We're getting some gusty winds in advance of it a little bit. And then that moves on back down through Okmulgee County right now. And so you can see from Happy Camp Road isn't quite as happy right now because you're getting more rain. Bald Hill, Kevin's in Bald Hill right now. If Aaron, is Kevin able to talk to us for a second? Kevin, are you there? If you are, can you give me an update from Bald Hill? Kevin.
I think he may be going through a bad cell area. His stuff just all froze up.
I was going to say, literally right in there. Okay, we can go back to radar for a second. We'll see if we can get him back. So then what we're watching is going all the way down to Bald Hill Road here. And so this is rain. We also have some heavy rain and thunderstorms further to the south. So you can see where Kevin is located now, but this is Okmulgee County. They cannot have any more rain, and guess what's happening? We're getting tons of rain falling in the same area. I mean, I was down this area over the weekend. It is saturated. There's water standing all over. And they had rain on Sunday morning. And so they're getting rain again, and that's part of the severe thunderstorm warning. And then further to the south, we do have additional strong to severe thunderstorms. But this is a severe thunderstorm warning that goes down in Muskogee County. So notice Sequoia is in Henrietta right now, and the heaviest of the rain is back up in the Sapulpa area in southwest Tulsa. But we have additional heavy rains right now over Henrietta. Sequoia is in that area right now. Sequoia, can you give us a quick update from Henrietta? What do you have for us there?
I can barely hear you, Travis.
Yeah.
I think you asked for a quick update. Yeah, right now I am on I-40, just still a little bit east of Henrietta. There are some very strong winds coming into Henrietta and on the leading edge. And if you can see right here, there's a fairly good lowering right there. And you can see right there, the middle of, or the right to the left of the screen, you can see the scud going up into the sorry, there's an echo. I feel like a baseball announcer. But there's scud going up into that right now, into that little lowering. You can see it live, actually. So
yeah.
Hey,
we lost you. Hey, Sequoia. Hey, sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
We lost your picture. You went black because I think you pinched your video. And so that's okay. We're going to come back to you.
Up.
Let's get you fixed back up. Anyway, so I want to go back just for a minute. I want to go further south from where Sequoia is located right now. And we're going to look down here. I want to point something out for you guys, Pittsburgh County, southern Kiowa. We do have a tornado warning right now for Colgate. Now, that's just outside of our viewing area. Here's Hughes and Pittsburgh County. But if you are in Kiowa or in the Pittsburgh County area, just be advised that this is part of a storm that's coming on up into this area. And Stacia, I wouldn't mind you doing a quick storm track for these guys, and we'll come back into Tulsa. But right now, that tornado warning could be extended into Kiowa and southwest Pittsburgh County. We have a very intense thunderstorm, lots of rain, and that is a severe thunderstorm warning. Stacia, what do you have for us?
Okay, Trav, so I'm going to take future scan, which will take what's currently on radar and extend it out. We can go 2 hours, but I just want folks to know down in McAllister and southern Pittsburgh County, we might not go that far, but by 8:30, so about 20, 40 more minutes from now, Kiowa coming up here by 8:30, McAllister also by 8:45, these storms coming in. It looks like the Colgate storm would track more towards Kiowa and then potentially towards Hartshorn. This is also an area that was heavily damaged, Trav, from last week or the week before from storms, and then that will continue on into western parts of Latimer County by 9:40. So taking that 2 hours in time, we're going to get some very strong storms across Pittsburgh County and then eventually pushing into western Latimer, western Haskell County in the next 2 hours.
All right. Hey, let's go to traffic 7, Gathering Place. This is part of that lowering It's coming across Tulsa County right now. We're going to go back up into Tulsa. So this is condensation. This is the refinery, one of the parts of the refinery. And so what you're seeing right now, this is a lowered cloud base as it's coming right into Tulsa as we speak. So there's condensation because there's air lifting up into this. I don't see a strong indication of rotation. Hey, is John underneath this right now? Aaron?
He's on I-44 right at Riverside.
He is? Okay. Hey, John, I'm going to just bring in your audio for a second. If you could, John, are you seeing any strong rotation with this? I don't see a whole lot of rotation right now, but we do have the condensation area that's coming up across the river. What do you have?
I do not see any rotation, Travis. A lot of very low-hanging and, as you call them, scary-looking clouds. But at this point, I'm not seeing any rotation with what's right here in front of me. So,
okay.
No, I'm not.
All right. So that's what's coming across the Arkansas from the gathering place. So we're looking basically west, west-southwest. And but this is what we're keeping our eyes on right now. T5, do we have that also on T5 at this second? Because we were looking at that. So we're going to lose this with some rain in just a second. So it's a little bit harder to kind of see that because rain's starting to come across the city at this particular moment. Then also, I think Jinx has a rain curtain coming through as well. That's part of that storm coming in. And so that's just kind of evolving, some scary looking clouds for a few minutes. And so what you're seeing right now is that's downtown and looking at that wall of water coming across the area. So that's downtown. So we're looking now pretty much southwest and south. And if we could, let's go to Jinx camera before it's totally annihilated with heavy rain. So this is a part of the rain curtain that's coming in across the city of Jinx. No tornado warnings. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning still for southern Tulsa County and central Tulsa County and Okmulgee County and western Wagner and Muskogee County. So that's happening right now, but not so bad. Gathering place, in fact, that almost totally disappeared. We'll go back T5 or T7, excuse me, for a second. So look what's happened. So that's it's kind of almost gone at this point. And then we see the smokestack right in here from the steam coming across. So that's the winds are coming across. So it looked scary, kind of fell apart again a little bit. All right, back to what's going on across the area. This is a live look from 169 Broken Arrow Expressway, looking back into that downtown Tulsa. Where did I lose my...
No, that was downtown.
Yeah, okay. And then, so this is the lowered part of that coming across. So not much, just enough that we have to be aware of it. And it is severe thunderstorm warned for that. So for a second there, I was like, that was far enough away. So back, this is down south. Again, Holdenville, there's that tornado warning. Hasn't been extended yet. Severe thunderstorm warning, mainly across eastern Okmulgee County now, moving some gusty winds, possibly in a Broken Arrow and also in Okmulgee and Wagner County, or from Okmulgee County into Wagner, and then also Muskogee County. So that's happening. Here's that swirling area that John was under. I was just showing you a gathering place. And so that continues to move. That's that lowered cloud base. To the north, it's flooding rainfall that's the issue at this moment. And so there's a lot of water that has fallen across Nowata County and Craig County and Washington County and Osage County. We do have some clearing skies out around Bartlesville. This rain is ending now, and so further out to the west, it is literally sun's trying to pop back out, and so there is going to be some good news a little bit later on, but we have to get through it. And to give you an idea, let's we can, if we could, we'll just look at this for 1 second. So this is a look from downtown, or from the east side of downtown, looking back to the west, and so OK Mozart has been going on for this week. And so there's just a little bit remnant of the rain just ending there. So you guys are about out of the mix. Again, be careful though, secondary roads could be flooding. Back to radar again, rain and thunderstorms across the Tulsa Metro area and areas to the north. That was flooding. Warnings continuing for a while longer. In the Tulsa area, that circulation feature still just hanging in there. You can just see it, just rotating. It's the weirdest thing to look at this. And in fact, Stacia's reading my mind because if we could make a loop out of that, so that's great. And so we're just watching that little circulation. It's wrapped up, come right across the area. So it's literally pretty much just over the Jinx area right now. There's no hail associated. I didn't see anything with that.
I just checked and there wasn't.
There's nothing.
Which is good.
Lightning strikes are even down. So this is kind of we might be in pretty good shape here. Hopefully that's the case. Stacia, if you want to, we can get a quick storm track before we're going back to some programming possibly. But what we're looking at, again, with this, it's kind of spinning out. This is kind of losing a lot of oomph, which is great. And then you see the curvature extending back on down. And so it's really weakened dramatically. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this northern side just doesn't have much going with it at this particular time. Aaron, who's on REM 39 right now? Is that Alan. That's Alan? Okay. Alan's got a good shot. He's up further to the north, but we're going to go to Stacia first, and then we'll come to Alan. He's got a great shot of the thunderstorms as well. Stacia, what do you have?
Trav, I slowed it down to about 40 as it tracks across the city. So this will take it, I'm going to also clean it up just a little bit more, but this will take it still across central Tulsa back into southern Rogers County. We're still looking at Catoosa, potentially to Verdigris, to Keatonville. That would be by 8 o'clock. So around the Catoosa area. About 8:02, Fair Oaks by 8:05, and then Verdigris by 8:08. So again, right now in the center part of the city, heaviest rains back towards the Brookside area, just on the west side of the river. And again, losing a little steam. I slowed it down to 40. So from Brookside and Gathering Place over towards the Broken Arrow Expressway, moving up to the northeast towards Catoosa by 8:02, Fair Oaks by 8:05, Verdigris about 8:08, southern Rogers County here just after 8 o'clock, Keatonville by 8:13, Gregory by 8:15. Again, heavy rain. The swirl of the clouds can look pretty scary with a slight lowering there, but that's the way it's looking as it goes across Tulsa and over then onto the east side of town and up into southern parts of Rogers County.
All right, and we're going to continue with the severe thunderstorm warning for a while longer. I think the National Weather Service is going to want to continue that until 8:15. That's for portions of Rogers, eastern Okmulgee, eastern Tulsa, Wagner, and Muskogee counties. The part where the severe thunderstorm warning was canceled for Creek County. Also, with the, I do want to mention that the flood advisories now have Washington, Rogers, McIntosh, Osage, Okmulgee, Tulsa, Wagner, Okfuskee, Muskogee, and Creek counties with flood advisories for the amount of rain that's fallen. And so that's something that you have to be aware of. Here's the areas of stronger winds. Kevin is in the leading edge of that. Is Kevin where he can talk, and then we're going to go up north to Alan. Kevin, if you're there, can you give me an update on that? Kevin?
Yeah, Travis. So
Okay.
we're sitting right at the here north of the pass, looking back into the line moves through. The lightning has really died off, and it's not looking real impressive right now. Really is associated with this as well right now, Travis, but we're going to continue keeping an eye for you.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate that. And so again, that's part of, he's looking back into this line with some winds. So he's going to get a little bit of gusty winds, but a lot of these winds have already kind of come through the Okmulgee Morris areas and nothing too impressive there. Up to the north, kind of an impressive cloud structure with what's going on. Alan's back up kind of right along the leading edge of that. He's just west of Veneta right now. It looks like on Highway 60. And then, Alan, if you would, give us an update on what you're seeing there, would you?
Yeah, Travis, got some nice lighting in the background. Just very light rain at this time. However, we just outran the no-wata storm. So we got some heavy rain, I believe, coming into this area. So it matches up just right. But max winds we've had is 20 miles per hour. Nothing super impressive. Like you said, the cloud structure was kind of nice, showing we got a decent little thunderstorm moving through. Travis.
All right. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. So we have as well, just kind of what we're seeing is just the amount of water. Some gusty winds are possible. Alan's really close to that right now. Don't expect that to be too big of a deal, but we do have a little bit more action going on just northwest of Veneta with some gustier winds. Again, flood advisories in so many locations because of the amount of water. We continue to pile up, and it's not, spring isn't over with yet. The warnings are to the south. Also, let's go down the tornado warning for a minute and see what we have down here. See Brandon, our other Brandon. We have two Brandons. Our other Brandon's down around the Tupelo area. Do we have his video by chance? Is that showing up or not? Is that his?
I think that's his on REM 23.
REM 23? Okay. Can we go ahead and take a look at that? If we could, okay, did. So he's in the middle of heavy, heavy rain. You can see he's having to go slow because traffic has slowed down. It's a great idea to slow down when it's raining heavily. No, nobody does. Everybody's in a hurry, even when it's raining. And I'm always like, something bad's going to happen, hydroplaning. And so that's what he's running into. That's part of that mass of rain down south. Embedded in that is that tornado warning. We can go back to radar for a minute and we'll show you what's going on. And the reason why that's still concerning is that it's just in an area, there's circulation features right around the Colgate area. And just not a big one, but there is one right in here. And so then that is still a tornado warning. Don't know if that'll be extended. Stacia, I don't know if you've seen that from, I think that's from out of Oklahoma City's warning area. But if that continues northeast, that would take a severe thunderstorm into southern Pittsburgh County. What have you found out, and could you do a storm track on that for us?
I haven't found out anything if they will continue it on. It looks like they may have just mentioned, actually, they'll extend a severe thunderstorm warning downstream. So that could include what we call a tornado tag. So we've had that happen quite a bit this spring. Severe thunderstorm warnings, a tornado tag, meaning a tornado could still occur, but the rotation maybe doesn't look as strong to warrant a tornado warning. Still a storm that will have to obviously be watched closely. So that will track up towards the Kiowa area. And we just showed you future scan not too long ago for that storm tracking up towards Kiowa. But we'll take it from Colgate up to Kiowa here at about 40 miles per hour. So that will be in the Kiowa vicinity in the next 30 minutes. Ashland, though, would be by 8:15, Reynolds by 8:18, and this will again be clipping southwestern Pittsburgh County in the next half hour. The McAllister area will probably get the storms coming out of Hughes County, Calvin down to the south, and that would occur by 8:45. I'll show you future scan one more time. Again, it takes what's on radar now and extends it out in time about 2 hours. So as that occurs, again, the Kiowa area will be closer to around 8:30, and then the storms coming in from McAllister will be closer to 8:45 to 8:50. So across central parts of Pittsburgh County through about the 9 o'clock hour to around 9:30. Lake Eufaula also same time to get these storms. Heavy rainfall, also some gusty winds, and then that continues east from there. So by 10 o'clock, now those storms are in western parts of Latimer County, western parts of Haskell County, Hartshorn area. I do want to mention that the storm that's going to come up from Colgate, potentially to Kiowa, could potentially come into your vicinity. So just note that and be aware that that's something that could happen. Now, if that does happen, it would be between 9:45 to about 9:50. So again, this is a look at future scan, even up towards Tahlequah. We're looking closer to 10 o'clock for these storms to reach you and kind of clearing out of the Muskogee area by 10 o'clock. But storms have not reached Muskogee yet. That'll be closer to about 8:45 Trav to almost 9 for the leading edge of those storms to get into Muskogee.
All right. Hey, I appreciate that. Around the Tulsa area, we still have some scary looking clouds that are showing up. So let's go and take a look at what's happening right now. The storm that was the one that was creating scary looking clouds is not finished yet. John is with it right now. John, show us your scary looking clouds if you would.
Well, there's they're low hanging. And it has a little bit of spin to it. I would call it almost leisurely. It's not wrapped up or anything, but it's just gradually moving across the sky across Tulsa. It is not tornadic or anything like that. Just moving across the city. Right behind it is very heavy rain, and it is moving across the city. I'm at 11th and 169 right now, and it is moving rapidly this direction. Back to you.
All right. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. So you can see what's happening there. And it's changed and even evolved just while we were talking to John. So that's what we're seeing across the city of Tulsa. Back to radar. And so you can see where John is located. So it's now kind of merged in with the city streets data. And so that is pretty much just gone as far as anything that's important. So we're looking for shear, and we don't find a whole lot. A little bit up by Claremore at this time. Brandon's up by Claremore. And then as you go south, it's still a little bit of wind from where Kevin is located. Kevin's shot is still has a pretty good line associated with that. Hey, Kevin, just one update from you. What does that line look like right now to you?
Well, Trev, like I said a little bit ago, there's really not a whole lot of lightning with it. The wind is still pretty light right now, between 5 and 10 miles an hour. As you can see from my shot there are a few little low-hanging clouds slow rotating, kind of like what John described. But other than that, there's nothing too crazy going on now, Trav.
All right. sounds good. Let's hope we keep it that way. So again, as far as that line of rain and thunderstorms going on radar, that is just kind of the winds right there. We've had not hardly very much wind stationed. What about any power outages?
Right now, Trav, the power outages Chloe put together for us are less than 1,000 customers in Tulsa County, less than 1,000 over in Sequoia County, less than 1,000 in Lincoln, quite a bit more over towards Oklahoma City. But luckily, and right now, the winds that have come through so far, hopefully they haven't done much damage. Power outage numbers really are not that high as of yet, but we'll kind of see what happens as these storms continue across eastern Oklahoma. Again, most of our storms that are severe warned right now are mostly for wind threat up to 60 miles per hour. Haven't had that observed just yet, which is good, because our trees have really taken a beating. We've had a lot of folks that have tree limbs down throughout this season, so trees can be weaker. Of course, the ground is very wet, doesn't take as much wind, it seems like, to knock trees over and give us some problems. So we're hoping that the winds stay on the lower end for tonight.
Boy, that's a big amen, because there's just so many tree limbs, and everybody's been in everybody's yards. Half people picked them up. Some of us haven't picked up ours yet. But again, with this leading edge, so this is going to go until, so we're coming up on 8 o'clock. We're going to go back to programming at 8 o'clock if we don't find anything else happening here in a few minutes. But the severe thunderstorm warning pretty much for Tulsa County is out of it. Now, John has had the scary looking clouds. Doesn't look quite as scary looking anymore, but that last of that rotating part, and that is just spinning and moving up toward Catoosa right now. Again, no tornadoes. We did have a tornado down at Norman. Could you pull that up, Chloe, by chance? We did have that, and we did share that with you, some of the folks on some of our social media. But this was out of just a real quick look. This was out of Norman. So there it is. You can just see kind of just like a trunk right in there, an elephant trunk almost. And so that was on the ground for a little bit. We saw some damage in a few places. So that was earlier. That's not now. So that was when we started some of our coverage. You have one more there that I think we had. And so here's another one. This is from Chase, who was down there. So you can see that had things, they had people in Norman kind of excited a little bit. Storm Prediction Center was there, so I imagine all those guys probably just looking out the window. But that's what happened down there. So that was really the only. We had another one that was confirmed to the north on I-35, but the only damage that we've seen has come out of Norman. It has been very insignificant compared to what it could have been. Just wanted to point that out. So we'll have more of the information at 9 and 10. Back to radar one more time. And look at the rainfall again. Aerial flood advisories in effect for northern Nowata County, northern Washington, northern Osage, western Osage. That goes back on over to Noble County. And then also down to the south, we haven't had a whole lot of rain, but some of these numbers are going to go up because we just had that line of storms come through Okmulgee, so those numbers will go up pretty quick. And then additional rain and storms are coming through at this time. So nothing for you guys off to the east. The only thing that is under a warning right now is going to be not only the aerial flood advisory, but the severe thunderstorm warnings that are still in effect for Muskogee and also into Wagner counties. That line of thunderstorms, though, still very weak and literally below severe limits as best I can see at this moment. So we're not super concerned, but at the same time, we do want you to be very careful and very much aware that these storms still have the potential to pack a little bit of a punch. Further north, it's more of a flooding issue that we're going to be watching and kind of concerned with as we go through the next hour or so. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to programming now on Channel 6. If we need to, we will be on YouTube TV. Don't forget us on Channel 6 YouTube TV. We have that as well as Facebook. So we'll have more information that'll be coming up in a little bit. Keep it here. We'll keep you advised.